Sound of Freedom movie review. It's hands down one of those movies that you need to go see in the theaters and support as much as you can. I would say go see it in the theaters to give the movie itself more money. But if you can't see it in the theaters and your only option is to stream it or rent it, definitely do that. This movie needs a lot of support and any help that you can give for what the movie's about, which is child sex trafficking. It's a really huge industry all across the world that just needs shut down. This movie will help bring some more light to what actually happens and how bad these people are, and what actually goes on all around the world. And I'm not just saying in other countries, it's right here in the United States. Even in your own backyard, even in your own small town, it could even be your neighbor. There's these types of bad people all over the place. They come from all walks of life. It could be a rich billionaire. It could be a poor person on the street. It could be that white-collar doctor. It could be anybody that you know or see, and you'll have no idea that they're into this type of thing. So it does bring some light into that. But basically, this movie, the premise is this Homeland Security officer, I believe his name's Tim Ballard. I don't want to get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what his name was. He was doing like the sex crimes unit for Homeland Security, more specifically the children aspect of it. And he would actually have to watch videos and footage and photographs of the heinous acts being committed, that like testify in court and write reports and stuff like that. And he started like questioning himself about just catching like the pedophiles themselves, and he actually wanted to catch and return not catch children, but return children to their parents, bring them home, get them safe. So he wanted to do that, and after catching this one, which I'm guessing this is how he did it in real life too, or how he got started saving children, was after catching this one guy, he used this guy, said that he was into that stuff, and just playing like devil's advocate a little bit, and got him to set him up with a child. But he really wasn't like trying to get a child. He was trying to like infiltrate like that industry and those type of rings. So he sort of worked himself up the ladder a little bit. So when he arranged to get this child for whatever those type of people do, he actually arrested that guy who brought the child. And then after saving that child specifically, found out that child had a sister, and from there the story flips to the guy the rest of the way trying to save the kid's sister, and how he went to like Colombia and stuff like that to try to save her, like specifically her, because he promised the brother he would do what he could. So he tried to infiltrate like the different rings down there. He actually met up with a guy who was in the cartel, like with money laundering, and actually became one of the people down there that would like buy children, but he would like release them. So he was like buying children but saving them and returning them. Like he would spend his own money on it, like trying to be a good guy. So when I say he was buying them to get them out of the industry, not to use them. And you find out later, this guy, the reason why he did it, because he was in the cartels and got arrested. He actually found out when he brought a woman off the street for some like a sex act. he thought she was like 20, 25, and here after he did his act, she was actually like 14, I believe it what it was. And that just basically gave him like a God moment where he actually wanted to save children from then on out. So he helped Tim the rest of the movie save children, and actually that specific little girl that they were after, it was sort of like their combined mission from then on out, because he had connections in that industry, so him and Tim were working together. They actually set up this like elite hotel to get a bunch of children at one time. I forget how many they got. It was like 50 or 60 they saved through like contacts of these couple child sex traffickers. And it was just amazing to see how easily it was for a couple traffickers to get such a huge number of children so easily, whether they had them or not already. It just shows like how easily and how many children are exploited throughout the world. But they set this hotel up hoping to get this girl, and they didn't get her, but they did save a bunch of children, and they used the people that they caught to sort of track down the girl. And they had to go to like the dark jungles of, I believe it was Colombia, where even the government won't go to save her. So that's what Tim had to do in the end. Go to this remote jungle, like cartel gang member controlled small area of the jungle to save her by himself, because the Colombian government can't do nothing up there, and or the US government. But he actually ends up saving her in the end, which was awesome. I think in the end credits it was like 120 children. I don't know how many pedophiles that they did arrest, or sex traffickers they arrested in that like specific sting to save the brother and sister together. I don't know if the number was really in the end credits or not, but that specific sting, I said like 120 children, which is just amazing to save that many children. So that was kind of awesome to hear that ending. I believe he still does it, but he also has a family of his own, so it sort of tugged at his heart that he wanted to save the children. Seems like a really good guy. Well, obviously he is a really good guy for doing this. But the movie itself, again, should just be an eye-opening experience if you're not familiar with what really goes on in the dark parts of the world, in the dark web. Hopefully it gets some more people to like the push for funding from different governments to help chop the head off the snake, I guess, and close down this whole industry. Because in the end credits it says it's like a $3 billion a year industry, which is, it's just ridiculous that much money is spent a year. But actually I would say in American dollars it's probably more, because in some parts of the world, you know, like $1 is probably worth like $1 million in reality. So the number, I would say, maybe kind of small, but $3 billion is still a lot. So we just need to shut it down, because you know, children get exploited in the child sex slavery. There's it's just such, I don't know how to say it, but just such a bad thing to have happen all across the world. And there's more children and more people in slavery today than when it was legal all across the world, which is one of those stats that's actually been proven and true. But people just want to turn a blind eye to it and not think about it. And we really do need to think about it a lot more. So hopefully this movie helps do that and brings more light to it, and more people wanting to actually do something about child sex trafficking. I know it's a topic that people just don't want to talk about, but we really should. And it's just one of those things that people don't realize how easily children can get taken advantage of, or how easily children get used, or just taken in general. Like, you could be at a playground, you turn your head for a second, somebody just walks up and grabs your children while your head's turned, and you're helpless to do anything because they're gone before your head even turns back. Like, you could look at a dog barking in a park, and by the time you turn your head back, your child could be gone, or your child could be playing in the backyard. In a small town, somebody could just walk up, grab your child, you'll never know. Or just, playing in the street, or at a mall, anything like that. Somebody could just walk up, grab your child doesn't make any noise, or if your child makes some noise, they're gone, or they're already on the move before your brain kicks in and be like, hey, this is going on, what's going on, like, get away from my child. They're already, taken off in a vehicle just to have your child never be seen again. So it was good that they showed that in the opening credits, some actual real footage of children getting taken, because it sort of sets the mood, I think, for the movie, how easily things like that happen, without like parents being aware, or parents being able to actually do anything, because it just bam, like that, it's your child's gone. So I don't know, I just want to say, get out and support this movie, donate to any organization or groups that go out there and try to shut down pedophiles, or find the sex traffickers themselves, because we really need to stop the industry and shut it down completely. So if you can, do your part, or at least make aware of the movie and get people out watching it, streaming it and stuff like that, because the more people know about it, and the more this movie gets out there, maybe that person that you share it with makes a huge difference, or it makes you a person more aware, so it actually saves a child, or they might see something out in public that doesn't look right, so they can alert somebody else to save a child. It becomes a full circle type thing that this movie's really trying to represent. And it's just a shame that it took 5 years for this movie to be released because of Disney not wanting to release it, because Disney's being Disney, and Disney's trying to protect people, like some parts of the government's trying to protect Jeffrey Epstein's list of people from his pedophile island. They're sort of hand in hand, is what I'll say. So I don't know, go check the movie out. I don't really want to go into too much details about the movie and things you'll see, because I think you need to see it for yourself to fully grasp it. But just please go see it and support the movie, and get your friends to see it as well.